Hello, this is Robert Romano, aspiring art creator, Children of the Grave. I've got a work in progress here, and work in progress too with these live streams, trying to iron out the kinks here. Today I'm going to be working on this little panel right here. You can see it. You got Mortacia, the goddess of death. She's jumping off a rooftop, and I'm going to demonstrate my horrible perspective skills. I've settled on a vanishing point right about here, and I'm going to try to orient towards that. I think a simple 1 point perspective should do the trick here. I could try to create vanishing points, but because I can't see the sides of this building and it's kind of straight on, I don't really see a need. So I think we can just go with 1 point perspective here. And then just kind of fake it as I deal with the scaffolding and these gargoyles on the side of the building. This is Mortacia in the realm of Hades, the spiritual realm, and she is going to be fighting a bunch of demons who have taken over her homeworld. That's one of them there, Frizit, the hunter demon, and they're going to be should be hundreds and thousands of others. And I've not drawn for about 2 decades, really seriously. And about 10 years ago, I was doing lots of drawing and painting in art school, but not drawing comic books very seriously for about 20 years. So this is my first attempt to kick this off the ground. And I've been working on this particular page for a few weeks now. I'm basically just learning how to draw again, and so lots of fun. But what I'm going to do is actually turn on some music so that this is not so boring. See, I think if I kick out the exposure and just put it to not auto, then it will be easier to see. Let's see about that. It's kind of, actually, no, you can see the lines a little bit better now there. Okie dokie, so I'm going to switch off my audio because I'm not going to be talking too much. I'll switch it on if I'm going to talk again, but then I'm just going to turn on some music. Original music off of my YouTube channel. Check it out. Now, some of you are probably wondering, if anyone's watching this, why I'm doing the kind of finished pencils. And the answer to that is, it's been so long since I've drawn that I need to learn how to draw all over again. And it's really a struggle doing this for the first time in so many years. But that's why I'm trying, finishing my pencils, because you're probably thinking, oh, he's just going to have to do all that over again when he inks it, and that's true. And I'm going to have to. It's really going to be interesting to see how this goes once I start inking, because I'm liable to screw it up the whole thing, but we'll see. I'm contemplating adding another vanishing point here. But that's just going to look weird. So this is why I stink at perspective drawing. But you gotta learn, and we'll experiment. If it looks good, we'll keep it. If it sucks, we'll keep erasing until we love it. So these two arches are going to be too far apart compared to these four here. These got good kind of equidistant between the arches, and then these two are too long, too wide. So I have to narrow the building. Pain in the ass.
brain. The Proto, the Proto. All the children love Proto. Please don't take their Proto away, or tiny brains are here to stay. Proto, in it goes, only from IO.
Well, my music channel just ran out of music to play. I'd put something else on, but I don't want to get in trouble with my YouTube channel. I'm just getting it started. And what do I got? All of 6 subscribers? I guess it's no big loss, right? Will you guys miss me? But I could just talk for a little while. It's almost dinner time. I'm hungry. I don't want to eat. I just had a lot of pasta and sauce for lunch with my son, and it was very tasty. So I imagine in Hades they don't have windows, so they're going to have arches. Lots of arches. Almost looks like something from Gotham. But I guess that fits, right? Because of this kind of architecture. What would they build in hell? What would the buildings look like? I think that's a very good question. So this is a world of dragons and deities. I'm gonna go with kind of dragon-y gargoyles. But if you're in hell, who do you get to build all that stuff? Does Morticia just create it with her mind? Was it already there when she got there? See, these D&D worlds, it's kind of, in every world there's like a different god or goddess of death, and for every other type of god and goddess there is different gods of war, different gods just from world to world, but they all tend to have the same homelands in the planes. And so the question would be, are they in the same Hades? Is she just in a different section of Hades? Is every Hades unique? Because I don't think she's going to be running into any other cities of Hades, right? So this is her Hades. And it's part of the world of Danae. And that's just the way it's going to be. That's the only interaction there between she's exiled in Tartarus, and then she's going to go back to Hades and try to reclaim her homeland. But I was saying in another video that the odds don't favor her because she's losing her powers because of the appearance of the undead on Danae. She's the goddess of death, and then her aunt, Dantuia, starts raising the dead, creating zombies and the like. And as the goddess of death, this is kind of undermining her work. Her job is people who die, they should stay dead. They really shouldn't be coming back. So if they come back, it undermines her power, and so now she's lost the power to pass judgment on the dead. And so hell is filling up. It's all the peoples. You live, you die, you go to hell. It's the premise of this world, this comic, this graphic novel, Children of the Grave. What if there was no heaven, but only hell? Because I think that's what would happen in a world that has an afterlife and zombies, is that it would screw up the works in the spiritual realm. And that's what we're examining here. Usually, in the zombie apocalypse stuff, they'll tell you, no, it's a disease or something else is going on, some virus. But in this world, it's actually because of the machinations of gods and goddesses. See, I think we're starting to make a little progress here. Just got to go in, keep drawing until I like it. Anyone even use these anymore? Kneaded eraser. How do you erase such small spots? I'm really learning everything all over again here. And what a mess. You can see why everyone's using blue pencils now. So you can just cancel it out after you scan it. And I'm still using these gray pencils, so I'm going to have to probably go in there with an electronic eraser after I ink it, because it's going to be so messy. It's going to pick up all of these lines where I was just drawing really hard and sketching, erasing, sketching, erasing. Let's see, so we've got 1, 2, 3 bricks that lead down to this window area. So what do we think? 1, 2 down for the space in between. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3. Go up 1. I'm in a pain now. All the detail. Oh well. Good thing I don't have a deadline. Now this will get done when it gets done. Get a bunch of pages done. Probably want to just draw the whole thing and then ink it. Maybe after I'm done drawing and inking all of it, then I'll think about putting something up on Indiegogo, which is going to be a really long time from now. Really long time. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. So this is my amateur drawing here. I guess it's okay, as long as I like it. That's all that matters to me right now. I'm my own worst critic. You could tell me it sucks, and I'll be sad, like I tried really hard. Yeah, that's what it should do there. That one's kind of the one that's head on there. So you should see, not the sides, but kind of like this little crescent right here. So everything's probably going to end up looking kind of sketchy when this is all done. Let's see, a little bit more of a crescent there, and then an even bigger crescent. Okay, 1, 2 more down. And then 1, 2. I'm gonna get further apart, aren't I? Oh, I really missed there, didn't I? Really missed big time. I only want one down. Oops. Let's try that again. Keep erasing until I like it. Can't wait to ink this. Oh man. How do you use a ruler with the ink and not smear it? That's why. Get a professional inker. Knows what he's doing. I'm kind of making this up as I go along here. And I misspoke before. I said I hadn't drawn for 20 years. I went to art school 20 years ago. And then I went to study political science. And while I was in Stony Brook University in the 2000s, I started taking art minor classes again, drawing and painting, life drawing, that sort of thing. And I think it really helped me. And I graduated from Stony Brook about 11 years ago. And I've been in Washington, D.C. ever since, or in the Washington area. Don't recommend it. Too much politics. So I love Comicsgate. Get me some Comicsgate because this is my escape. And so I don't have to talk about my politics here because I do that at my day job. You can find me on the internet. I've probably written like 3,000 articles by now, all about politics, and I am sick of it. Well, I guess I'm good at it. That's why I do it, right? It pays the bills. Doing advocacy. So this is very much a creative endeavor. So I don't have to think about that stuff. It's what everything going on right now. It's crazy. You probably all think it's crazy too. That's why you read comic books. That's why you don't want politics in your comic books, because it's like, oh my God, is everything political now? I think it is. I think everything has been politicized. And I'm probably partially to blame for that, although everyone who was subscribing to our newsletter, they probably thought they were getting a political newsletter. So, but being a VP of public policy and a senior editor on a magazine, you're going to contribute to a lot of political ideas. You know, I think the grass is always greener on the other side. If I had stayed in art school 20 years ago and just said, oh, I'm going to make comic books, because that's what I really wanted to do. I was going to go to school, learn to draw, and I wanted to make comic books. That was my dream. True story. I actually wanted to do this for a living. And then I see so many years later what happened with the folks in Comicsgate, and I'm like, wow, that could have been me. Good thing I went to political science school. You know, I'd be like, he's a conservative. We can't have those. And they really can't. There's no room for dissent nowadays. Even in political organizations, it's like, oh, they're pro-Trump. Oh my God. It's like, it's like they can't have anyone supporting the guy. Yeah, that's why the American people voted for him. Because the establishment was telling him not to. Oh, there I go. I talked about politics. I take it back. Just telling you about my day job and how much I don't want to think about it. That's why I'm drawing. See, and I'm making mistakes. You should stop thinking about politics. It's bad for your drawing. It's bad for your mental health. What am I going to do if my son says, Daddy, I want to study politics? And I'm like, oh, I know a lot about that. I know a lot about that. What do I say to him? Do I say, no, you can't do that? I'll be wrong. I missed. Marches should have come down further. And I missed. 1, 2, 3. I missed. That's how I missed. I missed. That's all right. Maybe we're starting to see the I think there's like a little barrier here. I'm gonna ink it later anyways. But they need to line up. It won't do any good if you lay this thing out all wrong. But there you go. It's starting to look like a weird castle or whatever from like the Ninth Gate or something, right? Like I said, why would you have windows in hell? Although I imagine they'd have, maybe they could be like stained glass windows somewhere. Stained glass and windows would be interesting to draw. Oh, yeah, we'll find room for that. Why not? Let's see, it's 6:30 already? Wow. How long have we been going? Almost 90 minutes. Of course, nobody's watching. What's the point of doing the live stream if nobody's watching? Well, ostensibly, the reason to do it is because if you're going to do an art stream and you just want to be able to show people, oh, here's me drawing, recording it first and then uploading it would take forever. Forever. So you should just record it live, and then there it shall sit. So let's see here. Now we're going to get some detail here. Decide what we want this thing to look like. Oh, let's see here. Imagine that it does something like this. That looks kind of cool. That looks kind of cool. Get some real detail on there now. See, I could have cheated. I could have made it all black. Just make the building black, right? Just paint it black. But I need to learn how to draw again, so might as well make a challenge for myself. Alright, let's see here. I hate drawing backgrounds, but if you're gonna try to make an interesting world, people want to see what's in the world. And it's better than having to write a description. Imagine writing a novel. This was going to originally be a novel. Just imagine describing architecture. You have to look everything up. What's that called? You have to know things. The artist, we can cheat. You don't need to know what everything's called. Although these are arches. Here's a good question. Where does the light come from and how? Maybe it comes from like in the journey to the center of the earth. The light comes from the center of the earth. I think as they got closer, there's some sort of like ambient light, or I don't know. It was weird. That was a strange story. Journey to the center of the earth. Because if there's a Hades, it's gonna be pretty much underground. So this story essentially taking place underneath Danae, the world. I'm going to tighten up my panel a little here. Kept erasing everything. Now I finally feel good. I can create the border there. It's getting dark out. It is fall. It's almost November. Can you believe it? When did the time go? Where did it go? I want it back. That's why I'm doing this now. That's why I gotta write my story, draw my story. Even if I never finish, this is healthy to me. This is relaxing. Even if I just do a little bit at a time. Let's see. I suppose all the light's going to come up from below here. All the light's going to come from below. So all these will be kind of dark. That'll look good. So they probably use torches. Keep everything lit on the ground there. In Hades. Should probably speak up a little. If I whisper, no one's gonna be like, what? What'd he say? I probably should have done this first. Draw the background first. And then stick my, or at least plan it out, right? And I kind of did. I just basically, this panel will give you a better idea of how I just try to map everything out. So here she's peering over the edge of the building, and she's ready to jump into action. She's tired of waiting. She's going to spring into action. She's taking a clandestine approach. But now she's reached the point of the city where she needs to engage in combat. And again, I could just put a big B every time I want to black something out. So I'm just going to have to ink all this again, but I'm learning to draw again. I'm afraid to pick up the ink until it looks exactly the way I'm going to map it. And then as I get to subsequent pages, I could probably create a little shorthand for my pencils. Once I get more confident with my inks, then I'll feel better about picking them up and getting started with the inks. So I'm kind of in some cases, I am, so we're close enough here we can actually create a little detail there. Let's see, should we do another level here? Maybe halfway up there. Create another row. Imagine it's the shadow that does that. Why can't we see? Autofocus my butt. I'd probably be better off creating a perfect focus. What happens if we shut off the focus control? What will happen? And we just hit apply. Now, no matter what I do, it won't focus on my hand. My hand will be all blurry. It'll focus on that. Should have done that the whole time. Oh well, guess I could just leave it like that. Or maybe what happens if you shut off, just go down to zero focus, say no focus, don't focus, just show me everything, right? So OBS lets you do stuff like that. You just say, oh, now it knows how, what was it, on 20? Okay, well, keep it at 20. Yeah, OBS lets you do a lot of stuff. Imagine if I was like calling in on Skype with this. I don't know if you can plug OBS into your Skype. I don't think it'll let you. I tried it at work once, so I just couldn't figure it out. And it would be helpful though if you're doing an interview with somebody and you could tell your OBS to, or tell Skype that you're going to go through OBS, and then I can do some color correction, because these webcams don't look so hot unless you use proper lighting. And I mean, frankly, you need color correction sometimes. It just doesn't look as good as it could. Let's see, I think we're going to create an extra level here. Make this building a little bit more interesting. And then we're going to close up shop here because I think dinner's ready. Yeah, that's a pretty good place to stop. Well, I'm very happy to let's see how this one worked this time, but pull my camera back here. Everything's a lot darker now because it got dark outside, but thanks for tuning in to this live stream. This is an experiment to see if the live stream OBS setup is good. I'll go back and take a listen, see if everything came through loud and clear, and how it looked. This is Robert Romano, aspiring comic book creator, and making Children of the Grave here, and you have a good night.